Vs.Nick Vogelgesang.
Truly two of the best talents there is in the city. And the winner of this match will go on to meet our high qualifier, Riga Kalfas, who had some outstanding scores. Very uncharacteristic of Nick starting off with a split.
Looking very slow with his first delivery for some reason. I'm used to seeing Nick just torque it up and wheel it. That looked like more of a finesse shot. Cross lane, let's see if he can maybe bounce one out. Nope. 9 out in the first frame.
And already Ron Bohnert has a little breathing room against Nick Vogelgesang. How often does that happen, David?
Not too often. Again, he's going with the burgundy hammer on the right-hand lane. He's going to open the match up. And how's he going to open it up? With a high shot, leaving the 6-pin. Both players not really coming out and taking control right away. Although in warm-ups, they both look very comfortable with the pair.
David, with the advent of resin balls, a lot of people have gotten very confused about the new technology in them. Ron Bohnert chooses to use resin very seldom, basically sticking with a urethane ball. Which is a little surprising because, you know, to me resin is a better piece of equipment, but perhaps he can stay around the pocket more, and when you throw the ball the way Ron does, you strike with regularity no matter what ball you have in your hand.
It really is. It's a personal preference, and in this case, your role, the amount of revolutions, the boards you cover, and the angle you enter the pocket is going to determine where you want the pins to be, up, down, flying across. In that case, just crushed, broken into pieces. Nick stepping up on the right-hand lane quickly, setting himself, knowing what he wants to do, and letting it rip.
Wow. Filled up that pocket, David.
Well, he will leave a lot of these, the strong 10s, we call them. That's where the 6-pin goes up and around, or around the belly, right there around the belly. And he makes a spare, as usual.
Nick Vogelgesang averaged 226.5 for the 6 games to make it here. And Ron Bohnert averaged 229. Of course, Nick is 28 years old, averaging 231. Tons of TV appearances and 25 300 games.
And probably about a dozen 800s thrown in there, too. I'm
Or
not
more.
really sure, yeah, or more. We'll have to check that out a little later on. But again, once you get up into that caliber, who cares? It's a lot. The man can strike all kinds. Right-hand lane. Left-handed bowler crushes the pocket.
Ron Bohnert has definitely been a regular this year, appearing many, many times, which goes to show you what a great bowler he is. 21st TV appearance, 18 800 games and 27 300s, averaging 230, and he hit the big 3-0 this year.
Leads by 21 pins at this particular moment. And once you give a man that kind of a lead, he will not generally give it up without a major fight. But again, Nick Vogelgesang is never going to give up. He is going to throw strikes, or at least torque it out and maximize his potential. It's there. It's there.
Nick calls that rip it and rip it.
Rip it. I don't know if he's got a patent on the term or not, but I like it. Rip it, rip it. 21 pins at this particular point. Nick trails by 21, but can cut it to 11 if a strike pops up on the screen. Oops.
That ball did not have a chance of getting over into the 1-3 pocket, David.
And you know this too, Jennifer. Every once in a while, you're going to cut a ball short or not trust it. Could be caused by timing, could be caused by a bad feel with the ball. And that time just didn't really trust it at all. Covers the spare up nicely, but when you're 21 pins down, you can do nothing but strike.
Ron, very serious. He's put on his game face today.
So that's what that is. It was maybe Jim Carrey in The Mask. He's smoking is right. Somebody stop it. No, I don't think anybody wants to stop this. Watch it. Keep your eyes riveted to the head pin and the 5-pin, middle of your screen. It is going to go from right to left so quickly you can barely see it, but if you've recorded the show, replay it in slow-mo. That head pin covered more area in less time than some Indy 500 race cars. Incredible. He is what bowling is all about. Tenacity, turn, and 43 pins to the good. Oh,
Vogelgesang will not give up. He has nothing to lose at this point, David. He may as well just go on and strike all the way off the sheet, as we've seen him do time and time and time again.
like you say, Jen, rip it,
Rip it and rip it.
roll it down the lane and just go for it, because at this point, anything other than a strike is not going to help. And I just got a hunch that's all we're going to see the rest of the game.
Exactly. As I said before, Riga Kalfas, our qualifying king, averaging 240, is going to be pretty hard to handle. 33 pins. Both players lined up and striking at will right now. Let's see if Ron Bohnert can continue. Didn't quite get out of that ball as cleanly as he would like, and he's going to give away a little bit of that advantage, which will tighten things up coming down to the last quarter pole. I learned that the other day. David, it looked to me just as he was so pumped up and had so much adrenaline going that he just had extra speed on that ball. Instead of just letting the ball roll, he just threw it entirely too hard.
Cross lane should be an easy spare. It is. He brings it back nicely. And again, I'd like to thank the Chastangs for these beautiful shirts that they've provided all year long. Thanks, guys. They are in good taste. They represent our sponsors well. They represent the game of bowling well. Kudos to you.
Howe Manufacturing down on Spring Grove.
Whoa, area check.
Wow, and he has a lot.
Grip it, rip it, and wheel it to the left. I think the same thing applies on both sides of the lanes right now.
Oh, just not getting the carry he needs.
That could be the undoing and the final nail in the coffin for Nick Vogelgesang. Look at it here, going through the pocket. Keep your eyes second pin from the right-hand side of your screen, around the belly. And then Nick, of course, brings it back. We've talked about it week after week, Jennifer. Nick's spare game has come a quantum leap where it was 3 or 4 years ago.
He's an all-around bowler right now. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Nick go out on tour and go try and get a piece of that pie, because he's as good as anybody out there.
Yeah, he's very good at it. He is very good at it, and I really think he can make it long-term on the tour. Ron Bohnert has the hammer in his hand, and he can take it off the sheet and take it out of Nick's reach right here. Well, it gives him a 43-pin advantage with 1 frame to go. And unless he were to get negative points for style, and if that would have happened, we would have done it to him years ago, right? Not the most dramatic or graceful game to watch, but power and tenacity. You want to watch it? He's got it. Breaks down a split in the final frame. The best Nick Vogelgesang can do won't be good enough. Watch the spare break down here. 4-6, 7-10. Only now the 4-7 to remain. Should be a fairly easy spare for Ron Bohnert. And he converts it easily.
David, we talked about the 189 and under prize fund. Well, this prize fund is even better. First place, $1,200. Second place, $600. Third place, $500. There's some serious money on the line here.
Okay, there we go. Strike for Mr. Bohnert, 247. Nick, quick to get up and want to finish the game off, knowing that he is history. He's got the proverbial fork in his back. He's done, but 500 bucks he gets to carry away, and not by a lot of consolation Pepsis, Miller products, or if he wants to, he could go down and put down a down payment on a new car out at Jeff Wilder.
There you go. Steve Haynes would agree with you. The convertible sitting outside right now is not too shabby.
206 for Nick Vogelgesang. Not enough today. Ron Bohnert, 247, burying him to go into the final game of 1995. Stay tuned. I predict it'll be worth your time. We'll be right back.